Okay, everyone, welcome to this edition of the American Motors Guy. In this video, we're going to be restoring or repairing our headliner and our 88 Eagle. Our edges are really bad and rough, broken. It has a split or two in it, and Larry's going to show me how he fixes his so we can repair mine and start putting my car, the interior, all back together again. And obviously we're going to start from the roof and work our way down. So let's work on that headliner. Check this out. All right, Larry, we're going to get ready to work on a...
Yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about it first.
Okay.
And I hope I'm talking loudly enough. Let me get the other top over here.
Okay. Look at that. I'm like really on my game. Man, get level. Get level. All right, Larry. We're good. We'll start right there.
Okay, so when you do this, there's many ways of doing it. So right away, somebody's going to say, "I've got a better way." All I can say, I fiddled with this, and you find a way that works with the materials that you've got.
Okay.
This,
Work with what you got.
This came out of my two-door Eagle sedan here. We'll look at this one here because David's is a little different. His has been redone one time, and when they redid it, they coated the base here. But we need to, if you start off with a car that's never been redone, which most of them are hardly, it'll be more like this right here.
Right. What's this layered here?
Yeah. And what you got, what you have for material is this here. You know, the original stuff is cloth. It's bound to a foam, and that foam's disintegrated, and then the top falls down. And you can't fix it. I mean, you can put tacks up there to hold it up, but you can't glue it back on. You've got to replace it. That's the only way.
All right. So with this, if you were going to redo this, you would remove this layer.
Well, this one's a little strange because generally what you find is when you look at it, it looks like this right here.
Okay.
But this has some plastic, I've noticed.
Yeah, it's like a plastic layer.
And so it must be this particular one that this plastic was bound to this, is my guess.
I would say that would be the backing to the headliner material.
No, I don't think it was that. I think the headliner material glued to this, and I think this plastic was glued to the headliner.
Okay.
Because there's no way they're going to get, that glued to this, and that glued down to the headliner. My guess is that because this is the first time I've seen this plastic, and generally what it looks like is
what year car did this come out of?
82.
82. So they may have changed material and went to this, and that's the reason why. Because there's a lot of 82s.
Yeah.
Headliner troubles and stuff.
Yeah, well, they all have problems when they get old because this foam disintegrates.
Yeah.
And then the ceiling falls down.
Okay.
Sitting in heat and stuff like that. So this one here is a little different that way, but I show this because generally when you pull it out of the car, what you're going to see is you take the foam off and you take a brush and you wipe it off and get all the loose stuff out. It's going to look like this right here.
Okay.
And the problem that you're going to have is when you glue in, you've got to glue to a solid surface. You can't glue to something like that. You can't glue to something. This is clean right here. It might stick or it might not, but you have to have a good surface. And generally, it's going to look like this. It's going to be cleaned up, but then it's still going to be flaky. And so when you try to glue this in, you put contact cement on this side and on that side, and you put it in there, and you glue it in, and it all looks real fine, but it'll start breaking loose.
Because it's just sticking to sand.
It'll start, it's like in sand. It'll start pulling off the material, hanging down all the time. Of course, the weight is pulling down, and you get a corner of this off over here and a corner of this off over there, and it'll start falling down.
Okay, so what do you do to fix this? Get rid of the dust.
So, then we'll go back to David. So I'll put this one back. And so what you do then is you clean it all up. and then you put a coat of something that's going to be hard on here. And I use, there's a lot of things you can use. I think we've got some polyurethane, it's pretty good. Something that will soak in and harden. So then you got a hard surface. It soaks into the this material.
It's the fiberglass. Yeah, it's a fiberglass.
Well, polyester. I've used Elmer's glue mixed with water. Anything that will soak in and harden. Okay, so it's gripping onto the ceiling. Okay.
Okay.
So it won't break loose like sand. You pour it into sand, and it gets inside, and it hardens inside the sand, and you get a surface. So that's why we have the polyester. This one's been done one time before. I can tell because it looks like it.
Yeah, my brother did say it when he did redo it. It had it redone.
He took it off, and he's already put a material on there, some kind of material, to build the surface up. And so, but we're going to redo that. This one came out of David's '88 Eagle here. And it's rough on the sides.
Yeah, there's a chunks missing.
So we're going to go around and try to reinforce the sides. If you look at it, the visors look right here. This hole here is where the overhead light was located.
So what is this stuff?
So we're going to try, and this is, we're just going to fabricate. I happen to have some very, very fine knit cloth around here, and we're going to be putting this stuff all the way around the edges of it, using contact cement. So I got enough cut here, and we're gonna take it down, and we're gonna go like this right here, and that'll reinforce our sides a bit. We're gonna go all the way around and do that. It takes a bit of time.
And that's what we're gonna use the spray adhesive for that.
No, we're just gonna use a can with a brush for that.
Okay.
Spray adhesive, you need that to use when you put this on, because you can't really brush on this and brush on that, get it all done in time for the whole thing to go together. So you always use spray can.
Okay.
But for this, we got a lot of time. We're going to do one piece at a time. We're going to go around. We're going to do this side first, and we're going to turn it over, and then we're going to do this one here. And the idea is to try and reinforce around the outside here. You're not going to see what's in the car because the new ceiling liner is going to cover it up, and the underside, of course, is going to be up inside the car. So. But this one here is not real bad, but it's rough around the edges. You got this. I've already put one piece in here to try and reinforce that crack that goes through here. This material is really, really weak stuff. Some of the older ones, they use a good stiff cardboard.
Yeah.
And the cardboard for the ceiling. Okay, I've never had the problem, but when you did this, you have a nicer ceiling, but it's more fragile and it tends to fall apart. So that's what we're going to do.
Okay.
And
we don't need this right this second.
No, you don't need that.
Don't need that.
Yeah, take these away. You can just sit them over there. Now, I suggest for your video, rather than have them watch us, it's going to take us a long time to do this.
Yeah, let's just let it film us doing some of it.
Yeah.
And I'll go.
So,
magic of TV.
So we're going to do this, David. I got a line down the middle, okay? So you can.
Okay.
We're going to paint half of it, okay?
Okay.
And then we're going to paint up in here with contact cement. If I don't run out of contact cement, and we'll put it on the floor.
Man, I didn't know. I should have got some, huh?
I've got a can. We'll put it on. Some just one at a time, okay?
Okay. We'll do one at a time.
A little bit wider. Start off with one at a time.
Okay, well, just lay them right here so we can grab them and pull them off as we do them. Then
with contact cement, we gotta dry, but you can't let it dry too much, or else it won't stick anymore. Back in the 50s, the guy was doing some home improvement stuff,
Okay.
and he said when you a can of paint, you always do this right here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
you know why that is?
so it'll flow back into the can.
Yes, sir.
And it always will seal, because when you put it like this, the holes are covered up.
Yep.
And so for paint, it'll go back.
The paint, and that's one of the things he showed me on that was knocking a hole in the can. He said, that's a drain. He said, that's what it's for.
So he showed you that, huh?
Yes, sir. Sure did. First time I think I was about, I'd probably say about 12 or 13 years old. We were painting the house. And my dad was working all the time, so it was up to us. Mama wanted the house painted, so that's what we did. We was up on the ladders on a 12-12 pitch, painting the roof, off the roof.
Hold it down.
Yeah, I see that. Go at it, huh?
Up in the middle. Okay.
Heavy in the middle, light on the edge, right? All right.
Go ahead, get that corner over here. Okay, just let her sit. Okay, flip the camera in this direction.
Gotta get higher, Larry. So you've got to work quick.
Well, no, it's got to.
It needs a little dry time.
Yeah, it's got to dry enough so it's just tacky. But you don't want to do the whole thing because it'll get too dry. It won't stick anymore. This is contact cement. So
Okay.
I mean, if it gets too dry, you can just paint on top of it. But, here's our bad spot right here. But we're gonna wrap around that bad spot to try and reinforce it, a little bit.
Okay.
I think the material goes up to about here.
Yeah, I'd say you're getting close.
First time around, okay.
I mean, by the time I get the camera set,
Yeah,
you're done.
We don't want.
I got it. Right, so now we're just going to the edge. Go past it.
Yeah, you're going. This line here should go right there. Okay.
Okay.
And go up here.
Whoop. You gotta come down. Your angle's gotta come down, or it ain't gonna go.
Yeah, it's really not quite hard enough. I can see that. But it hasn't got to be perfect down here. Yeah, I think the next time around what we'll do is we'll do the cloth. The cloth seems to be drying an awful lot slower. And get that so it's tacky, then do this.
Okay.
Because when you put it on, it should just stick. It should be like this when it's loose.
Well, maybe you want to try to just brush the board and then stick the cloth to it?
No,
It
that's not
should.
good. No, you want to use the contact on both sides.
Yeah, that's working good. But that's only step one.
Yeah, we're going to go all the way around. I'll
Okay.
turn it over and do the same thing on the other
So
side.
we ain't gonna worry about, oh man, that'll be nice. When you draw that up. Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, so now let's do. Okay, so let's try the short one now.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say paint. I'd say paint all that when we get ready to put it on there.
Yeah, it should be
Or
better.
paint it now.
It should be better than that. May have had a bit too much material on it. Try to put less glue on.
About painting, I'll paint it. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Just don't tell them. I'm waiting to get a phone call. But right now the camera's on, so you can't call me. I left the house without the light vest. Without that light vest. I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't realize it till I almost got here. And I'm like, I'm already an hour late. I'm not stopping. I gotta get over there. There you go, starting tight. There you go.
Yeah, this is for the. I think the first one we just put too much on.
Okay. Hey babies. Hi babies. How you doing, girl? Yeah, I'm gonna have to eventually get me a computer, Larry. The pad and the phone.
Oh, you haven't got a computer?
Huh?
You don't have a computer that you're doing this on?
I do all of this on my phone and on my tablet.
Oh boy.
And I'm gonna have to spend some money. Spend some money.
The computers aren't that costly, really.
Well, when you get into the ones that I need, which are more of the video streamline,
Okay.
the software gets a lot more expensive than so does the hardware. And it really becomes man, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know this works. I just I had it hooked up there, and then show you how my leak goes. Need to run the air compressor, go to plug it in, and start seeing smoke. Like, oh shit, what's that? Look, now, hot lead on the inside of that plug, it caught fire, I guess.
stuff tends to be in the can will start filming over, so
Yeah.
it's good to keep it covered up. Yeah, contacts, the idea is not to let it puddle. To have it be a nice
smooth,
thin layer, because if it puddles, it won't dry. If you're doing it right, when we do the top, when you sit it on top,
yeah,
you're not going to move it, okay?
yeah, right.
Contact cement, this here's been pretty wet, but you sit it down here, you're not going to pull it off.
Right.
Without ripping it apart. If you've got the contact cement at the right dryness.
Well, that's looking good over there on that one side. That looks like that already looks making the thing look better.
Yeah, I was reading the article that Eon put together there in the AMO magazine about the struggle of AMC to stay alive.
Right.
Very sad story. It struggled. Trying to get Peugeot involved, and Renault, and Chrysler, and just went on and on. I say we kept losing money. It's too bad they didn't have a little bit better management to overcome the problems they had with AMC. Was still
I don't know if you're a big television person or not, but I don't know how y'all watch TV. Do y'all stream, or you got cable, or
cable?
You have cable. I don't know. You can go to your local PBS station, go online and see if they have it, or you can probably tune into their channel and see when they may have the Last Independent.
Yeah. I've heard
I've watched three. They've had 3 parts so far, and it's been informative. It tells a lot more about the union and stuff that was going on, and
yeah, the union, apparently the employees are willing to take a cut in pay to keep the company alive.
yeah,
Okay.
that had happened. That had happened.
With the idea they would get the money back eventually. A little bit back. Sometimes these unions can do you in because they keep getting wages higher and higher and higher, and you just push you out of business.
Yeah, well, they were talking about how in some of it AMC was like, okay, well, they're building this many cars. Well, if you're standing around for so many seconds, then you could do 3 more screws.
Mm-hmm.
So they would take away from jobs, add to jobs. They felt like they were being punished. It was a lot of they had a lot of in-house fighting, I believe, going on. People mad at each other. And one guy was management, and he was friends with half of them. He's like, I go to school with these guys, you know. Can be. You need to come around. right there to stick to.
Well, it's finished.
Yeah,
Go
that's
on
gonna
the
fold
other side.
over and reinforce
Yeah,
it.
this is up at the side anyhow, so it's covered up. A lot of it's covered up by the molding. You're not going to see it, but get it as best as we can.
Here, I'll get it.
Okay, so now get your polyurethane out, and this is good heavy coat.
Little heavy coat. What? Just pour it on there and paint. Go. Got a hole in the can, go for it. So you're covering the whole thing?
Yeah. When I do this here, it soaks in pretty fast.
Golly, it does, doesn't it?
Well, that's the idea. Yeah, James, there are a lot of people that bought stuff because he always had an old car, a 57 Chevrolet or something that he was working on. They'll bring it in and just let him do all the work.
Yeah.
Get the seats out and replace this and replace that. You know, kind of guys that like to take car shows and parades. Not work on it themselves. Taking a while.
Yeah. Soaking it up. I'll buy more. This stuff is thin too, boy. Won't take long for that to dry.
In fact, in here, this is the area that separates first the back of the car. Here it's held in by the visors and by this corner here is one tends to close.
All right. Right on there, Larry. Got a little bit of left. I might just go ahead and put another coat.
Save this and we'll turn it over at some point over that other side.
Okay.
On the bad spots on the other side.
Hey, the webbing, right?
Yeah, a little bit on the other
Yeah.
side.
Okay.
But we're going to let it sit there. Okay, we're checking out a wiper motor here, since the one on this car didn't work. But you have no switch.
Ah. Same thing.
That works, but the motor doesn't work.
Same thing. That's a piece of like that round.
Got a big connection. It's got to be grounded, right?
Yeah.
Let me hold it.
Switch is on.
Where is it?
Ha!
How come it doesn't even spark?
And it's squat. She is on. Ha! Ain't no good. Man.
This one here looks kind of rough. See how that's bent up, and this thing here is off.
Yeah, I mean, I got lights. I mean, it's got power. All right, well, that's it. It's dead. I ain't gonna mess with it. It's done. All right.
See the damage right here, right there.
No, I didn't even notice that. Well, get another motor. I got one. I think I got another one. I'll dig through.
Well, if you don't, you always have mine. You can put in like something works.
Yeah, good. We got to coat the other side now.
I just leave it like this. Let it dry.
Let it dry?
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is the important side. The other side's not important.
Okay.
We'll turn it over and do a little bit. It'll dry faster, but this is the important side. Leave it just like it is. Let all this stuff dry up there nicely.
Okay. So leave it to flip alone.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's 1,000 times better than it was all flimsy and falling apart. And it stiffened it up. I think we ought to put a patch here where that split is.
We can do that.
Hmm? Good. What do you think? Contact cement on that. Stiffen that up.
But I'll tell you what, leave it for now, okay?
Okay.
Because the contact cement, when you put it on, is permanent, okay?
Yeah.
Let it dry first.
All right.
And then we'll patch that. We might have a couple of other spots that will come loose.
Well, I'm sure we're gonna have to come up and stiff up some of this, like here. It's gonna probably take a little more soaking in, and
I patched that one, that was the same idea.
yeah.
It would be that.
All right. So we have our interior trim color. We have our headliner lined up. We're moving forward. More steps forward. More steps forward. Okay, everyone. That's how we repaired our headliner with some simple, finely meshed cloth and some adhesive. Contact cement. Spread it on with a brush. Bond them together. Fold it over, which stiffened everything up and then gave everything a nice coat of polyurethane. We gave it 2 coats. After the first coat dried, it soaks in quickly and dries very quickly. So it's like a 3 or 4 hour time frame, I think, is what we put into it. fixing and repairing the headliner, and then we spent another 3 hours putting the cover on. So we'll show that in another video. All right. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember, everybody, like, subscribe, share, make comments. Need your help, folks. Trying to hit that 1,000 mark. All right, everybody. See you on the next one.